Let's talk AI for a minute, but not the way that most people are talking about it right now. I get it, AI's everywhere. Some are saying it's going to be the future of everything. Others say it's dangerous or lazy or cheating. If you're a business owner, especially a family focused entrepreneur like myself, you're probably not asking, can AI do everything? You might be thinking, if I don't use AI, am I falling behind? Or if I do use it, am I cutting corners? Am I going to lose my authenticity? Is everything going to sound generic? You might also be thinking, what about the environmental impacts? So let's talk about all of this in today's video. No hype, no fear, just a grounded conversation that can help you use AI responsibly in your business. And where, if you're unintentional, it could hurt your business. AI didn't become popular because entrepreneurs are lazy. Actually, you and I both know that's quite the opposite. Most of us are workaholics. If you're anything like me, I enjoy working in my business so much that sometimes I get bored and just want to go work on my business. AI has lots of uses for lots of people, but let's focus on just AI for entrepreneurs right here. We are expected to create content, market ourselves consistently, write emails, build systems, think strategically, do meaningful work, and somehow still have time for family. So when something shows up and it promises us speed, relief, of course we're going to pay attention. And AI can be helpful. Most people that I know and that I work with don't want to build a massive empire. They want a business that can support their life and their family. We can use AI to help us with that. As we're talking about this today, I want you to know I put together a free AI cheat sheet. I almost went free. It is free, no air quotes. I put together a free AI cheat sheet that goes along with this video. It's not a list of tools or hacks, it's just a simple guide. It has copy and paste prompts to help you think before you ask to write anything. If you want that, there's a link below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Now, you might notice my eyes looking down here sometimes. That's because I have notes on my computer screen. I don't want to miss anything. This is not going to be a short video. I have lots to talk about. So let's talk about that pull of AI. Why is AI tempting? Most of us are family focused entrepreneurs, we're parents, we're exhausted. As entrepreneurs, we're often exhausted too. And AI promises us to be helpful with speed, relief, and less work. AI is great at reducing our mental load. So it can help us with starting points instead of like staring at a blank page. Have you ever done that? You sit there, you're like, I am going to write an email. Nothing. And you're staring at a blank screen or a blank page uh, in a notebook. You can use AI for brain dumps and then it helps organize your thoughts. So if you're like, I need to write an email, these are all the thoughts in my head, where do I start? You just tell AI what all your thoughts are and have it help you organize them. It can also help you clarify an idea. So if you have a vague idea of what you want to write or what you want to do or what product you're going to make, you have this vague idea and you can tell it everything you have as an idea, and AI can help you clarify the idea, build on that idea. AI can also help us create rough drafts and faster than we can. It can help us expand on the ideas we have, rephrasing things that we already have in our mind. We just need a better way of saying it. For example, you have a clothing business and you want to explain an outfit and you don't know how to put it simply so it can be a great, we'll say, caption on a reel. You have a big long description. You're like, how do I put this? So you type in your long description into AI and you say to it, make this fit in 2 to 3 sentences to describe the outfit in a way that's appealing to my target customer. Now, obviously, you have to give it a lot more context before you can say that. You need it to know who your target customer is and more information like that. But it can help you clarify and make it more concise, more interesting, things like that. So it's rephrasing something you already know. AI can also help build confidence in beginners. And a lot of us, especially beginners, we get put in, we need help sometimes to put into words something we already know, but we're struggling to articulate. So you might not be great at explaining things. So you know this concept, but you're trying to figure out how to explain it in a way that someone that doesn't know the concept will understand. You can put the concept that you're explaining into AI and say, please make this simpler so someone who has a third grade reading level and who doesn't know anything about this topic can understand this concept. And it will help you rephrase it in ways that someone else will understand. That's huge. That is absolutely huge for someone who's struggling, especially a beginner who's lacking that confidence in themselves. Not everyone writes well. Not everyone can process things verbally. AI can help us bridge those gaps. If you've ever sat down to work and thought, I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to start, that's AI's game. Like, it can help you with that. AI works best if you already have something to say. If you don't know what you're saying, if you're building a business on something you don't know anything about, AI is not going to fix that for you. But if you already have the knowledge and you already know what you need to say, you just need help with it, AI is there for you. Now let's talk about something that doesn't really get a lot of attention, or sometimes it doesn't, depends on what realm you are in. AI has real costs. AI isn't invisible or free. It uses enormous amounts of electricity and enormous amounts of water. They need water to cool these computers because they use so much electricity in these massive rooms. And it takes natural resources to do that. You don't need to panic about this, but it does mean we shouldn't use AI mindlessly. So I know I've used AI in the past to create a picture for fun or to test it just to see what it would do. But convenience of AI comes at a cost, and I want you to use that responsibly. So if you're jumping on the trend around Christmas time, there was a trend where you took a picture of yourself, especially if you're a woman, took a picture and you had it create this like AI version of you who you were glamorous. You had like some candy cane or lollipop or kind of background that was so glamorous, and that was a huge trend I was watching on TV. Not on TV, on social media. Something I've seen most recently on Facebook is we just had a huge storm that covered a lot of the country. I live in Massachusetts. In the town that I live in, we ended up about 2 feet of snow. I saw many people, and actually fire departments, police departments, and such municipalities using AI to jump on this trend of taking their fire trucks and their police cars and using AI to add a plow on the front of their vehicle, filled with snow all around them. They were jumping on this trend, and I mean, it's fun, but is that necessarily responsible of us to do that? Just food for thought there. Also, more food for thought, and this is not meant to be like scary or anything like that. Most AI tools are owned by a very small group of extremely wealthy companies. This matters because those wealthy companies or wealthy individuals, they control your access to AI. They control the price of using AI. They control what the priority is or the way that it's coded. There was issues not that long ago where there was this AI that was coded in such a way that it was making offensive racist comments. There was also, even more recently, one that was creating scandalous X-rated photos. They control how that happens. You need to be aware of their control. Currently, it's also not a monopoly, but there is the potential that one of these wealthy companies could start buying out other wealthy companies. And I just want you to think about that. But most importantly, I'm telling you this stuff because if you built a business that relies solely on AI, you could lose your access to AI and lose your business. If the price was to increase to an enormous amount that you can no longer afford to use, and you built your business basically on AI with very little of your own gusto, you could lose your business because you lost the ability to access AI. AI is not evil, neither are these wealthy companies necessarily, but I want to make sure you're aware of these issues so you can prepare and use AI without blind trust. There are other issues with AI as well. Generic content. If you've noticed, there's a lot of online content starting to sound the same. This is why. AI pulls from patterns. Most people are using vague prompts. People aren't giving it enough context. Vague prompts, no context, creates average output. That's dangerous if your business is relying on people to trust you, your personality, because a lot of us are creating businesses that people see us and they see our personality. And if you're not building a business that has any of your personality in it, then you're probably not standing out from the crowd. We're also building businesses that need to have relationships with people. Whether they're B2B or B2C, we need to have those relationships. We also need to have a voice. We need to stand for something, whether it's authenticity, family, community. You need to have that and you need to have your voice. When AI does too much, your identity starts to drift. It's doing too much of the thinking for you. You stop refining your opinions. You stop learning through doing. And you lose clarity over time. AI should support your thinking, not replace your relationship with your business. All right, I'm going to read these directly off the screen because I don't want to mess these up. These are irresponsible uses of AI, specific case examples. First one is about deepfakes used to harm real people. We've heard about people creating these scams to scam elderly people where they use AI to call them and convince them to hand over money or something like that. But this is different. In 2025, a former school athletics director used AI to create a racist and anti-Semitic deepfake audio recording of a principal, spreading false, harmful statements and causing real disruption in the school community. The individual later accepted a plea for his actions. Literally, the athletic director at a school, think about this could be your kid's school, intentionally created auto recordings, AI recordings, using the principal, I'm assuming at that school, voice, so probably used other recordings of that principal to create a fake account or create a fake recording of him saying racist and anti Semitic statements that he did not say, with the purpose of causing issues in the school community. My example number 2. This is AI hallucinations in legal findings. Ready for this? A California prosecutor's office used AI to generate parts of the legal finding that contained inaccurate citations and fabricated quotes, which are called hallucinations. These errors highlighted how leaving AI unchecked in serious contexts can undermine legal legitimacy and due process. Leaving AI unchecked in this situation was a legal issue. But if you leave AI unchecked, it could be a trust issue. We'll talk about that in a moment. Sometimes content or photos or videos, things just feel weird or off. And it's not always because they're bad. But here's some examples. Pictures with 7 fingers. Obviously, that's kind of bad. When you ask AI to make you a photo of yourself, and next thing you realize you just posted a picture with you with 7 fingers on one hand. Or videos that are glitchy or unnatural. Maybe they feel a little more like an animated old school computer game where it's not quite smooth, or the movements are, not natural, robotic. Or phrases that just don't feel human. They don't feel like something a real person would actually say. These all happen for a couple reasons. The prompt that was used was unclear or vague. A person skipped the thinking phase and just let AI do all of the work. AI is code, and it uses patterns. So you hear the same things over and over. Like you'll hear the same type of statement used a lot. People like to use the word journey, that you're on your business journey or you're on your journey this. Well, AI sees that as a pattern and it starts creating that. And next thing you know, all of your AI stuff is saying that you're on on your journey, right? So you start seeing these things over and over again. AI uses code. It pulls from what's happening. It pulls from its knowledge banks, and it gives you more of what it sees. So if it is not being told what to say, giving it lots of context and being very clear, then it is going to repeat more of what it sees out there. In cases like the photo, if you don't tell AI to not change features, to not change the number of fingers that you have, to make sure that you don't become skinny, that you stay at the full size that you are, it's going to change that. Every time that I tried to make an AI photo, AI would try to make me super skinny, like I was a size 4 or a 6. Believe me, I am nowhere near a size 4 or a size 6. I am not a small person. I know that. But AI always wanted me to be. So if I don't tell it, and even sometimes if I do, it still tries, then it will give me a skinny person. Now I got to fix my lights. Sometimes we make these mistakes when we're first learning how to use AI. We ask AI to write my content. And that's when you start getting those generic, not necessarily, those generic sayings that you see over and over, or the non-natural sounding content. We skip giving AI the right context. So if you don't tell it who your target customer is, AI doesn't know. If you don't tell it how you talk, AI doesn't know. I have trained my AI and I told it, I like to use similes and metaphors to explain things. Please keep that in mind. Or I want my content, I want what I write to feel conversational, like I am talking to a friend over coffee. Other mistakes are not refining or correcting the outputs or not fact checking, right? Like that legal quotes, the hallucinations, the quotes were made up. You have to fact check that. If you are using facts, if you're going to say 98% of people who exercise on with a certain exercise routine are doing it wrong, you need to know that it's actually 98% of people doing it wrong. It's important to your business because if you give them inaccurate information, they're going to start losing their trust for you when they find out that you are giving them inaccurate information. And that's regardless if you're intentionally doing it or accidentally. Either way, you are the person that's supposed to know. And if your customer believes you and finds out that it's not 98%, but it's actually 18 to 19%, that's huge. They are going to lose trust in you. Another mistake is posting without editing. AI does some weird things sometimes, and things just don't feel natural. And you end up having to edit it a bit so it just feels like it says what you want it to say. It flows how you want it to flow. Or it doesn't put in those dashes and stuff. Can't stand that. Man, AI. If your input is generic, your output will be too. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And that's also why I'm giving you that cheat sheet that I mentioned before. Let's talk about responsible ways to use AI. Here's a simple framework, a way to think about this. AI is kind of like your second brain, not the CEO of your business. You can use it to help you organize, to support you, to brainstorm. Here is my responsible workflow. I'll put this in the cheat sheet so you don't have to look at it like screenshot or anything like that. But I just want to show you. You think first, right? You think first. You clarify the intention. Do you see how this starts with you? The first two steps are you. 3, AI helps you refine. 4, you're going to edit like a human and ask AI to refine based off of what you say. You're going to repeat any of these steps that you need to do. Any of these steps can be repeated again. Then you are going to fact check. You're going to fact check as needed or talk to real people to fact check, confirm what AI is giving you. Talking to AI is not a replacement for people. Often we need to test out products, talk to people to find out what their pain points are. AI can help with that, but it can't fully replace it. You need to talk to real human beings or do research online. YouTube, Google, when you start typing something in, they'll try to autofill what you're doing, and that's based off of what other people are looking for. So that can be a way to fact check and confirm some of what AI is telling you. There's other tools out there as well, but you can always talk to people in person. Something I like to do often on my Facebook page, my personal page for Facebook, is I will ask my friend something. Like the other day, I wanted to poll people on what their optimism and positivity, negativity mindset levels were. So I said, what would you categorize yourself as? 1, positive all the time. 2, positive most of the time, but occasionally have negative thoughts. 3, the majority of what I feel and think is negative, but I do have hope and see positivity. 4, I rarely believe that anything positive is happening, and I struggle to think of anything positive. And I asked my friends to tell me where they were. Then, once they told me what level they thought they were at, I asked them, okay, why do you think this? Have you always felt this way? What do you think changed that? So I asked them more questions. This is a great way to do it. You can even ask right there in the comments, or you can, send them a private message, ask them if that's okay to talk about this. And most people, for most things, will do that. Do that for what you believe. Do that for what you are trying to confirm and what you are trying to do for your business. I hope that made sense. If you're using AI to do things faster without disconnecting from your values or from real people or from your own brain, then you're doing it right. Let's talk some simple tips that can help you use AI. You are going to start by giving AI context about you and your business. This is the most important thing in my mind. This is on your cheat sheet that's linked in the pinned comment, as well as in the description. I have a prompt that actually I asked AI to help me generate. And I did it by explaining about my business. Hello, AI. My name is Heather Blake. I own a business called Learn Business U. This is the purpose of my business. This is how I like to talk about it. These are my values, so on and so forth. The full thing is right in that cheat sheet. But I gave it lots of context. And to build this prompt, I actually gave it context. And I said, what else do you need to know about my business? And then gave it more, said, okay, let's turn this into a prompt that I can give to my clients and viewers so they can use it to use AI efficiently for the business. So you give it all this context, you tell it your intentions, and you say, how, what else do you need to know about me to properly help me? And let AI tell you what it needs to know. Asking questions with AI can really be helpful. I always want you to make sure that you tell it what your intention is. So we'll use this as an example. Within the last few weeks, maybe the last couple months, I started recognizing that what I was doing on Instagram felt like a hamster wheel. I started explaining this to AI. Said, I feel like I am on a hamster wheel on Instagram. I am wondering if Instagram is not the best place for me to try to promote my business online. My business offline is doing well, but I am struggling to really get momentum online. I was thinking that perhaps YouTube might be more of a place to build that momentum. Can you tell me and help me figure out if my ideal customer and viewer would be on Instagram and if that is a good place to go, or if Instagram is more a distraction? Please help me. So I specifically told it, this is what I'm thinking. There's the context. My intention is to figure out if Instagram is a distraction or it's helpful to my business, and if I should concentrate more on YouTube. AI actually responded right back, you're right to be feeling this way. And then we went through a whole bunch of stuff. I gave it context. I told it my intention. I was specific on what I was asking it. And it helped me kind of go through a process of figuring this out. Yes, I should still be on Instagram, but YouTube should probably be more of my main focus. If it wasn't for AI, I might have continued struggling with that internally, trying to figure this out. I have mentioned this, But right when we were talking about the context that I gave it to begin with, your prompt and the cheat sheet, but ask AI what it needs from you to get the best results. So it knows what context it needs for the most part. You ask it, what do you need to know? This is my intention. This is what I already can give you. What do you need from me to get better results? A really awesome thing that you can do in AI. Now, this doesn't 100% replace talking to a customer, but you can create an AI customer avatar. So you should know about your customer, whether it's, from talking to them or doing research online, or because you are basically your customer or were at one point. Let's use this as an example. So say I am a nutritionist and my target customer, we'll call her Rebecca. She is a mom. She wants to be healthy so she can be there for her kids. She's between the ages of 30 and 45. She's tried dieting but doesn't feel that dieting is the right way for her to go. She wants nutrition as a lifestyle for health, not for weight loss. She wants to create meals that are good for her and that she can feed to her family. Right? So that's what I know about my customer. Well, I should obviously know more than that. Well, maybe not obviously. I should know more about that. But that is for another video. But if I tell AI, create a customer avatar named Rebecca and give that information, and then tell AI, please save that customer avatar. Whenever I ask you to analyze as Rebecca, please keep all that information in mind. Then you can actually use AI to help you get feedback on your products or your messaging, anything like that. Here's an email. Please take a look at this as if you were Rebecca and let me know what you think. Are there places that I can improve this, where I can get more emotional, where I can talk to her inner fears? But you have to create that first. Talking about creating Rebecca, you can also create other modes. Now, this is something I actually just recently learned from someone who really basically just teaches AI. You can create different modes. So one of the examples was genius mode, or you could do like professor mode, or, mom mode, whatever it is that you're like doctor mode. Depends on your business and what would make sense for your business. So if you want to create something, let's say photographer mode. Ready? We're going to use this. I want you to use photographer mode and explain and create a shot list for photos so I can get new headshots to use in body shots, new headshots, body shots, to use on social media, on marketing and things like that. But first, you're going to create the photographer mode. You are going to think like a photographer who has worked in the industry for 20 plus years, who knows lighting, posing, this, that. You are going to give it that information. And then whenever you want to do a shot list, you're going to go, please use photographer mode and tell me, this is my intention to create these images for this. This is the feel that I want. Please use photographer mode and give me a shot list. You can do it for lots of different things. Just use it for your business, what makes sense for what you're trying to do and for your business. You need to train AI by telling AI what you like about its responses and what you don't like about its responses. I find it equally important to tell it both. You just said this. I do not like the way you said that. I do not like this word that you used, or I do not like the imagery that you used. But I do love the feeling that you created, or this or that. Train it. A great way of training it is actually to give it things that you yourself have written before. So it has context, knows how you write, or give it videos, like a video like this. It knows how I talk. It can analyze this video, and I can use this video to train it. Definitely grab your copy of the cheat sheet so you can use AI better. A lot of these are in that. You are building a business to support your life, your family. This matters so much. AI shouldn't be used to work longer, create more pressure, or chase trends. That is not how a family first entrepreneur needs to be using AI. You should be using it to back your time, to reduce your stress, and to protect your energy. The goal isn't to do more and add another app or something else that you need to learn how to do. The goal is to do what matters with less friction. I feel I need to say that again. The goal is to do what matters with less friction. If AI helps you show up more present with your work and your family, use it. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please hit the like button so I know to keep making more videos that can help you, my LBU, Learn Business U community. If nothing else, let this be a reminder: you don't need to hand your thinking over to a tool. AI should support your voice, not replace it. AI is the tool. You are the business. Use it intentionally, thoughtfully, and with purpose. Let me know, do you currently use AI? If so, how? How are you using it? Leave me a comment below. I love knowing more about my viewers so I can help you build a business that fits your life. Don't forget to check out this video because YouTube thinks you'll like it.